Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to paint two different painting using brush pen, and I am using 400 GSM watercolor sheet. Usually we use 300 GSM, but this time I am using 400 GSM. If you don't have 400 GSM, you can use masking tape as well. So I am using this Camlin brush with all the shades. And again I have to tell this, I'm using 400 GSM watercolor sheet because I am trying to avoid masking tape. If you don't have 400 GSM watercolor sheet and you want to use lesser than that, like 300 GSM watercolor sheet for example, then you can use masking tape to cover the edges. And then you can start with this particular painting. So you have to wetten your sheet thoroughly, absolutely thoroughly. Go back and forth multiple times with the clean water and try to wetten your sheet properly. Now I'm going to use all different kind of shades of pink and peach color. So I'm starting with the peach color and I'm adding little dots like this. My sheet is still wet and now I'm using pink color. So basically I'm going to use pink color, fluorescent pink color, magenta color and peach color for this particular painting for the flowers. So first we have to start with the dots like this. Bigger dots, smaller dots, and it will gonna spread a little bit because our sheet is wet. You can apply a layer of clean water again if you feel your sheet is dry and not wetted enough, then you can do it again. It's not a big deal because still we are working on the background. So basically first we are going to create a background and then we will do a foreground for the same. Now I'm using the fluorescent pink color and I'm started with the flower shape a little bit. With the help of magenta color, try to create small flowers. This is on the loose side, but try to get a little flower shape in it. Anyways, this is going to be a background for us, so don't worry about the flower shape much in this particular step. So you have to add flower shape with the help of magenta color, pink color and fluorescent pink color. You can use other colors as well if you like to do so, but for this particular painting, this is like a cherry blossom branch, so I'm using all these colors. We are still working on the background, and as you can see I have not used any masking tape because I'm using 400 GSM watercolor sheet. This is absolutely important step you should consider while doing this kind of painting. We can remove the excess water from where we don't want our flowers to paint, and then with the help of green color we can start with the branches. But before that, let me add little dot of yellow color in between the flowers to create a ovary kind of structure, and then we can start with the flower branches. So this one is phthalo green, but I am not liking it, so let's start with the olive green, and I think this is much better. So I'm going to create my branches, my main branch and leaves with the olive green color. Again, this is a background, so I'm adding branches here and there. This is not my main branch, so you can definitely think around all those things, main flower, main branches and all those things when we are going to paint our foreground. So for the background you can go a little loose and you can do it randomly here and there. I'm using light green color as well to create some more leaves in between. My sheet is still wet. Let's add more flower with the magenta color. I want a little highlighted flower for the background as well. And as you can see, all the colors are dark now, but this will gonna fade once the sheet gets dried. Add more flowers if you like to, and then you can turn it into a greeting card or something, so you can write a message in it. I'm just writing a hi, and let it be for some time. Let it dry completely, and then we can move ahead with the foreground. So wait until that. And now my sheet is completely dried, and we can start with the foreground. So again, we are going to use all the colors which we have used in the background, but this time go slowly with your flower structure and try to create different perspective of the flowers. Try to create little visible petals and flowers and all those things, because this time we are working on the foreground. And this time you can define your branch structure, define your perspective of the flower and all those things. We have started with the wet and sheet because we want this blurry effect, and what we are saying it as background, so it gives you a very nice effect in your painting. So whenever you are trying to do it with the brush pen, you can do something like this. I think it's a great technique to paint with the brush pen, and to paint something like this. I think beginners can also paint these things easily. Now I'm adding more flowers with the pink color and fluorescent pink color, and let's create the main branch now. So I'm again using olive green only to create the main branch. So my foreground does not have as many as flowers like we have in the background. So we have less flower, defined flower and defined branches in the foreground. I think it's a great way to use this brush pen, and you should definitely try this. Add leaves in between with the help of olive green, and then you can also add more leaves with the help of light green as well if you want to. And we are done with the first painting. So now let's start with the second one. So for the second one also, we have to wetten our sheet thoroughly, going back and forth multiple times with the help of clean water. Again, I'm telling you this, I'm not using masking tape because I'm using 400 GSM watercolor sheet. If you are using 300 GSM watercolor sheet or lesser than that, then you have to use masking tape. It's must. Now let's start with the flowers. So I'm using yellow color to create two main flowers. This is big flowers with 5 petals in it. You can change the perspective of the flower, creating different size of petals. So I have painted 2 petals with smaller size and 3 with the bigger. So likewise we have to paint 1 more flower. So these 2 flowers are our main flower. Once done with the yellow flower, let's start with the red color. So add a line of red colors in each petals like this. Remember, your sheet is still wet and you are doing all these things in the wettened sheet. So if your sheet is not wettened enough, add a clean water again in that particular area and do it, because we are still working on the background. So the technique is same, but this time we are creating some different flowers and different kind of structure in this particular. So as you can see, we have this blurry effect in the foreground. Likewise we have to do in this particular painting as well. So I think I should add more water. So I'm adding it, you can also do it. Now with the help of violet color, I'm adding small flowers with the 5 petals like this. A apply a little pressure in your brush pen and you can get this kind of shape is easily. Brush pen is similar to brush, only it has flexible tip in it. So you have to apply a little pressure to get the little thickness in your painting, and then with the help of blue color add little different shape of flowers here and there. So the composition is totally up to you. You can add your own composition of flowers and leaves. I'm keeping it simple so that beginners also can paint these things easily. And if you're comfortable using brush pen, if you're comfortable with this particular technique, you can create some more complex painting and complex structure. Add more water if required, and then I'm adding little dots so that it will gonna look like it has multiple flowers, small flowers in between. Now with the help of magenta color, add the ovary of the main flower and dots of brown around it to create the ovary. Now with the help of olive green, I'm going to create leaves and stems. We are still working on the backgrounds. My sheet is still wet. With the help of dark green color, I'm adding more flowers, more leaves. You can add more lines of red color if it is needed. And then keep it aside and let it rest, let it dry for some time. I'm adding a small message hello in it. You can write anything, whatever you like, and let it dry. So now my sheet is completely dry and the colors are also faded. So this is our background. Now let's do the foreground. So we have two main flowers. I'm keeping both the flower for the foreground. You can keep one flower for the foreground and one flower for the background. It's totally up to you, but I'm keeping both the flowers for the foreground. Now I'm adding red color, adding more lines in each petals to define each petals. And we have to repeat these steps in the second flower also. So like what we did earlier with the help of yellow and red color, we have to do it again. Now with the help of yellow color, finish the petals and repeat all these steps for the second flower as well. I'm keeping the colors same, I'm keeping the flower shape same, I'm keeping the area same. The only thing is we have some flower in the foreground and some flower in the background. So that's the only difference what we are doing here. So the flower shapes are same, the colors are same, everything is same. Add red dots in between to create ovary, and then finish this painting with the help of olive green color. Add more branches or stems and leaves. can use dark green color as well, or any other shades of green, whatever you like. I'm using olive green and dark green for the stems and the leaves. Few more leaves and stems here and there, and we are almost done with this particular painting as well. You can use these painting as a greeting card, and you can keep it like that only. It's totally up to you. I'm hoping you have learned a lot from this particular video. Hope this video is helpful for you guys, and please do let me know if you guys have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.